Hey folks, so Dee Dee here today, and we're going to do this video on trimming rubber. So this is great if you order your stamps unmounted. If you order them from us clean cushion or mounted, they already come trimmed and ready to use. And this is what a clean cushion stamp looks like. It'll already be trimmed for you. It comes, you just take this white wrapper off, and then this is cling. It's static cling. It'll stick to an acrylic block. Okay, so this is one plate I've already finished up this morning just for you to see. This is that new Banksy plate that we just released. It's all individually mounted, ready for order for individual sale if you didn't want the whole plate. But this is about this size, and it looks nothing like this on the board, but this is what it came like, all on one plate, okay? And then I took the time to trim them out. So basically, it looked like this. Now this is one of the other new boards that came out right before the Banksy one, and as you can see, they're all still attached in plate form. I just plopped them down on cushion, and they're ready to trim. So if you order your stamps unmounted or in plate form, and you want to trim them yourself, this is how Viva Las VegaStamps does it. So this is the VLVS way, and you want to save space. So if you get a plate, just put your plate down on top of the cushion like it is. They're already as close as they're going to get, without possibly damaging each other during the cutting process, okay? So we take that upon ourselves to have that ready for you. And so if you get a plate, just put it down. If you get individual stamps, you're just going to want to try and arrange them about as close as you can get them to each other with room to cut, okay? It's important that you do have room to cut between them. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck with a bunch of stamps together. After that, after you've trimmed them, and this could, so I'm putting mine on clean cushion because that's how I use my rubber stamps. But if you're going to wood mount yours, then you'll want the mounting cushion, which is sticky on both sides. So it'll stick to the rubber and then to the wood, okay? But for today, I've got mine on clean cushion, and I'm just going to show you. Now that I've got them on this cushion, I'm going to cut them apart one by one, not worrying about how close I'm getting. I'm actually trying to stay in between the stamps as even as possible, okay? And I'm using some super sharp Kai scissors. You can pick these up from our store used if you like. It's after I've used them to cut some store orders. And I'm just trimming them out here individual, okay? And for the sake of the video, I'm not going to cut the whole plate apart, but I would just do that until I had a pile of stamps. Now I'm going to trim them. If you use them just like this, all of these extra spaces that are out here, they're going to pick up ink. And when you stamp it, you're going to get a halo effect. The ink is going to transfer from this rubber. And everything I'm showing you today is literally how I do these at work at the VLVS store when you order your stamps clean cushioned, or if I'm working on a mounted order. Okay, so they're literally, sorry about that pause there, my kiddo came in, but these are literally, this is how I trim them at the store so that you get the best stamp possible. Now that I've got them cut apart, this allows me to really get in close to the stamp and do the work I need to do. So I'm going to come around and trim around this stamp. Now, I've got, if you'll notice, I've got my scissors angled. Because our stamps are deeply edged, you can see this nice big ridge, and I've been crafting, you can see my fingers are dirty, but you can see this nice big ridge between the recess and the part that's going to stamp. So, and because of the way we manufacture, we get this nice big ridge here, and it works as a guide. So I'm taking these nice sharp Kai scissors, and I'm using them at an angle away from the stamp. And I'm just using the edge of the stamp as a guide, okay? And then I'm going to come back in and see I've got them angled the other way now, but still out, and trim it off. And if you look at it straight on, you can see this angle that's happening from the stamp all the way through the rubber to the cushion. So then when I mount it on a block and I go to stamp it, it's going to stamp even, and there's enough pressure all the way around. You have to be leery or weary of undercutting, because if my scissors were like this, or even if you think you're cutting straight up and down, sometimes this clean cushion will shrink underneath, okay? So always cut at this angle. You want that cushion to always be underneath the rubber to help create even pressure when you're stamping. And so that's it. Just keep it at an angle. And our stamps, you use the stamp as a guide. Now some companies, they don't have deeply etched rubber. So you can't actually use it as a guide, otherwise you run the risk of cutting into the stamp. But I hardly ever lift my stamps over the stamped image where I would come down and trim it and cut through it. That doesn't happen because ours are so deeply etched. Okay? So, there's that one. If you wanted to be super particular, you could bend this and then trim all in here. I'm not going to do that because I know from personal experience that this is good enough as it is. Okay? So let me just show you one more. Keep my scissors at an angle. Use the edge of this bunny as a guide. And don't be afraid to go and do parts that are going to make it easier to get back into some others. Like this here. Now I trim that off. I can come in this way. Come in this way. Come in here. Come in here. Keeping my scissors at an angle. And that guy's pretty much done on that side. Okay? Trim his little ear. Come in. This side's a little straighter, so keep my scissors at an angle, and I can just trim up through there. And then he's ready too. Okay? So that's it. Those are the basics of trimming rubber today, and that's the VLVS way. So you can order all your stamps unmounted if you want. We sell clean cushion, and you can just cushion them yourselves if you're into that. Or if you just want them unmounted, that's fine too. All right? Thanks for stopping by.